ワンパンで終わっちまった。
Hey everyone, this is Julie and welcome to my SOFHAB review series. Today I'm covering the One Punch Man manga and joining me once again is Rascal Entertainment.
Hello, happy to do this.
Yes, thank you. Now with the announcement and trailer of the anime's return with the third season in October, we decided to try out the original manga to see how well it adapts to source material.
But before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get some SOFHAB reviews and so much more.
Yes, and thank you so much for joining us today, subscribing to our channels, commenting everything you do. We appreciate you always. Thank you guys.
Yes.
So this is something that we had thought about reading years ago, and we didn't, and finally Rascal got it from the library, and I'm glad she did because it is pretty interesting. So how we first learned about One Punch Man, of course, is with the original anime. But prior to the anime, there was a webcomic that came out.
Yes, apparently so. And when we did not read the webcomic, we only found the manga on its own. And it looks like they took the webcomic and made it into a manga format. So now it kind of comes out both online and a manga before they even had that as a regular thing to have the app and the physical media.
Yes, definitely. So I think I said before the anime, I meant before the manga. So there's been quite a bit of merchandising done for One Punch Man, so I'm going to tell you about that quickly before we get to the manga itself. If you have never read it or seen it, it's action, comedy, and superhero, and it actually balances those genres perfectly.
Yes.
It's got the perfect amount of each one.
Yes.
So it was a webcomic first. It actually began in 2009, and the webcomic is still running.
Yes.
The manga just released its 33rd volume this month.
Still
actually
going.
Thursday. Today.
That's funny, yeah.
So it was written by Yusuke Murata, and so far it has 33 volumes. It originally began running in June of 2012.
Right.
Now, the anime itself has had 2 seasons, and believe it or not, it's had 2 different directors. Season 1 was directed by Shingo Natsumi, and second season was directed by Chikara Sakurai.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing that's really odd about this. The first season came out in 2015. The second season didn't come out until 2019.
Yeah.
And now the third season's coming out this year in October.
Yeah.
That is one long break.
Yeah, and we don't know why they take so long to do each season. You had a 4-year break, and now you're having a 5 to 6 year break, and I think people thought the show was canceled.
Yeah.
And no one even said anything. Oh no, season 3 is coming. It's like, how long did it take for you to do this anime?
It was similar to Fire Force.
Yes.
And how long it took it to come back. So there are currently 12 episodes. I'm sorry, 24 episodes, 12 each season, and there's also 12 OVAs.
Oh my gosh.
And then one original animation DVD called One Punch Man Road to Hero.
Ooh, okay.
There's also 2 video games, One Punch Man, A Hero Nobody Knows, that came out in 2019, with the second one released the same year, Road to Hero.
Yes.
So this particular franchise is very popular. It has a lot of fans, and you just wonder why it took it so long to come back.
Right.
Those of you not familiar with One Punch Man, as we mentioned, it's a Japanese superhero manga created by One, released originally as a webcomic, and it tells the story of Saitama, and he's an independent superhero.
Yes.
Who trains like crazy, and we'll tell you more about that.
Right.
So that he can defeat any opponent with a single punch, hence One Punch Man.
Roll credits.
And now he's bored like Goku of fighting people he can hit with one punch. So you can see the Dragon Ball influence on this character.
Yeah.
Because he's bored all the time because he can't find anyone that can last long enough to give him a fun fight.
Right. And that's the entire running gag, really, of the manga from beginning to quite far in. Because they'll have these villains that show up and are these monstrous earth-shattering type villains that destroy people in a single step or punch. They're unbeatable. They seem invincible. They are just destroying heroes left and right, causing property damage, destroying citywide places. And then Saitama comes in, he's like, oh, this will be a challenge, and one day it's over. And he's like, come on!
And they keep making you think, okay, this is going to be the one. Okay, this is going to be the one. But think about it, then it wouldn't be called One Punch Man.
Right.
So, of course, everyone's going to go down in one punch. And the funny thing is there's no one he can't knock out.
Right.
So, the way the anime starts is similar to how the manga starts.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell if you've ever watched the anime and then you read the manga, there was some anime only, even with just 12 episodes per season.
Right.
So he's a businessman, he's got hair, he's good looking, and he decides to take on an exercise regimen. Do you remember why he decided to do that?
Yeah, because they show that he actually ended up saving a kid from a villain. They decide he wants to be a hero, and instead of looking for advice from other heroes, he makes his, like you said, makes his own training regimen and what to do to become peak physical condition. So it involves doing 100 push-ups,
Yes.
100 sit-ups,
Yes.
100 run 100 miles,
Yes.
for every day for 100 days.
So people are like, oh, I wonder would that work?
Yeah,
Well,
I know.
You might not want it to because he loses his looks and his hair as a result of
It's
gaining
so
all these
funny.
powers.
And it's even funnier when they said, what is your secret to this power? And he tells them the exercisey stuff he did. He said, why are you joking with me? Anyone can do that. That's nothing. Tell me the real secrets that I did. They don't believe, anyone can do it. Like, really? Anyone can do 100 of all this every day and not just pass out from exhaustion?
It's 100 squats
Oh, so 100 squats.
and a 10-mile run.
I'm sorry. Okay,
Yeah.
100 squats and 10-mile run.
Yeah.
And it's like, anyone can do that. That's not anything. And it's like, really? You do it. You're a half robot.
It's like, how did that make you lose your hair?
Right. I guess maybe it stressed out so much it grew out.
Now, in addition to his workout, he also ate healthy food,
Healthy.
and he abstained from using the air conditioner or heater to reinforce his mental fortitude.
Alright, how long did that
Maybe
work?
that's why he lost his hair.
Maybe his mental state is good, but his scalp couldn't handle it.
So after that, he decides to try out for the hero exam.
Yes.
And before we get to that, I remember you telling me that this is in the same universe as My Hero Academia.
Yes, and a lot of people have really speculated that because they have the similar, it's really a similar premise with having a hero who originally didn't have any powers and becoming this mega powerful one, except One Punch Man case it's like goes down the drain quickly. And they both have the thing about hero association, only their rankings and stuff are different. They have pro heroes, but they're not called pro heroes. They have a whole ranking system. They have a ranking system for the threat levels of villains, and it's much, much different. Now, some have said this is a sequel to MHA because everything's so overpowered, but to me it feels like a prequel because they said how soon it was created.
Yeah.
But, you know, if you see it the other way, that's fine.
And something else interesting is this story takes place 3 years after he saved the little girl.
Yeah.
And he defeated the supervillain Crabiante. I think that's what it is.
Oh my god.
And he decided to do it for the fun of it. And here's the thing, why did he wait 3 years in order to start?
Right.
So
did he have to do something else? He has affairs in order and everything? What?
So he passes all of the exam on power, on his power. He breaks records. And then you see the familiarity or similarity, I should say, to My Hero Academia.
Yes.
The same thing they did during the exams to get into the school.
Right.
So he broke all the records, but all the other parts of the exam he didn't do so well.
Right. And they kind of make a joke at it, like, well, he's strong, but he's not that bright.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you need some type of intelligence to pass this. Jones was lucky that he had like a supercomputer brain and strength, so he was perfect. He's the ideal hero they're looking for, but they could care less about One Punch Man.
Well, he actually is smart because he passed the test and he avoids fighting unless he has to.
Yes.
And if someone else can't do it, then he does it. So
Right.
he's actually pretty level-headed and calm no
Right.
matter what. So he's voiced by Max Middleman in the anime. And then later on, we're introduced to Genos, who is a cyborg, and he's a 19-year-old cyborg.
And you can't tell.
And it's like, okay, Rascal, here's your number 18.
18, 19. Hey, someone did that on purpose. He's 18, but he's 19.
And he sees Saitama beat someone with one punch, and he's like, train me, master.
Yes, and he becomes, I guess, the protagonist of the story because he won't go away. He offers to pay rent and clean up and everything. He accepts everything just so he can learn.
And he also takes the hero exam and
With him, yes.
Passes it with flying colors, of course.
Right. And what's funny is that, you know, it's still, a lot of this is played for laughs because of how ridiculous the situation is. Both of them overpowered to certain degrees and everything. But, and even with this, where he doesn't believe that he did the 100 everything and the regimen thing is fake, there are times where Saitama does teach him things. Not the way he expects him, like Dragon Ball or something, but he does it where, you know, how a hero should be, because yeah, he wants to do it for fun, but he does have his times where he has wisdom. He has times where he does be generous in a fight because he keeps underestimating the regimen works, and every time he's astounded by some feat he does, he's like, I must write this down, and he's just like scribbling on paper every single thing that's important for him, like Deku.
Now, the most ironic thing is his voice actor in English. He's voiced by Tanjiro, Zach Aguilar.
Oh my
And he
god.
doesn't sound anything like Tanjiro.
Right.
So I was like, oh
gosh.
my gosh. And you have a ton of other voice actors who appear as heroes as well as villains. I think what I like most about the manga and reading it, and we've read up to volume 5 so far, is that you can tell which arcs got a little more content in the anime versus in the manga. Some of the events that happen are over with very quickly.
Yes.
And it was stretched out in the anime.
Right.
And that did make it more interesting, because you can tell in some of them that if they had been left short like that, it would not have been as interesting. So they were smart in extending some of the events that happened.
Right.
And also you get to see so much detail in the panels of not only the surroundings and the cities, but also Saitama's apartment.
Yes.
And every place they go.
Oh my
you see
gosh,
the details
right.
in the heroes' costumes.
Yes.
And I love the extreme detail that's done for their expressions.
You're right.
When things are happening.
Yeah, it's very. It's almost like Dr. Stone, but instead of having the back crazy faces when they're exaggerated, it's showing a lot of detail in the expressions when fighting.
And speaking of bat crazy, lastly, you've got some really bat crazy villains that show up in here, and some of them are weird as all heck.
Yes.
And then to match them thoroughly, you've got some weird heroes.
Yes.
And some of them really, like Stain spoke of in My Hero Academia, they really don't care. They're doing it for the fame, they're doing it for the money, and they avoid fighting, they disappear, or they tell someone else to go, or they're praying that they don't have to fight.
Right. And they don't have any skill or barely any skill, and it's like, oh, this is an S-rank hero. They have one as an S-rank hero, and it says to be the strongest one out of all of them. And it's just a normal guy who happens to show up when the villain's defeated, and they think he beat them all, and you can't touch him. And he's like, if it would come to a real fight, he'd be dead. And he's terrified to go and fight.
So it may possibly be a prequel now that we say that, because Stain in MHA talks about how he's tired of that being the case.
Right.
Which means this would have had to take place prior to be able to know that the heroes actually had improved and the system had improved in MHA.
Yes.
So with that being said, guys, if you've read One Punch Man, let us know in the comments. Have you read the entire series to date? Did you get the new volume that just came out, 33? Do you think you might start it if you haven't read it? Let us know what you think. And if you haven't, we absolutely positively recommend you read it. And definitely watch the anime. If you've never seen it, you've got a few months to catch up on episodes 1 and 2. I'm sorry, seasons 1 and 2.
Right.
And we're going to look for those OVAs, because 12 means there's a whole lot of information in there that might not be privy in the anime or the manga, and we definitely want to be caught up in October comes. So if you watch any of that or read any of it, come back and tell us what you think.
Right. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and notification for some updates on SOFHAB reviews and so many other videos.
Yes, and thank you so much for joining us today. Again, subscribing to all of our channels. Your comments and your sharing and your likes are appreciated so much. As always, you are specials.
I'm Rascal.
I'm Julie.
Have a fantastic day.
Continue to be happy, healthy, whole, and also wonderful, my specials. See you next time.